climate activists from a group called the Insulate Britain group caused major disruption by blocking several junctions of the M25 during yesterday's rush hour. Protesters sat in front of vehicles at junctions and caused some cars to be stuck for 4 hours. Look at that. It's reported 78 people have been arrested. They're calling on the Prime Minister to tackle global warming by pumping funding into household energy uses and efficiency. But they want a lot of insulation. It was if you watched on the news, it was kind of like an insulation protest. So I'll show you the M25 now. You're very familiar with this, Iain. I know you spend a lot of time on it. And what they did actually tactically was they blocked a number of slip roads. So this was organised. So they started with Junction 3 at Swanley. And then they swooped in. This is like the Bond film. Junction 6 in Godstone. They then, and this one would have caused real disruption. This is the bad one because that's Heathrow 14. Junction 20, Hemel Hempstead, they then blocked as well. Junction 31, Lakeside, which is down there. So for some reason they left that bit unscathed. But you know, the world's burning, Shay.
It's absolutely ridiculous, Jeremy, and I am completely livid because I was affected by this yesterday. My 3-year-old daughter, Tyra, has a very bad ear infection. I needed to get medication. What would have normally taken
Show me, where were you?
Near Junction 14.
Okay,
slap bang in the middle of it all.
What, on the M4 or something?
On the M25.
So you come in this way, do you?
Yeah, exactly. And what should have taken me 25 minutes, let's say, in normal traffic, took an hour and 20 minutes.
Right.
And I'm livid because for any of these people who think it's okay to protest on a motorway like this in the way that they have no consideration for human lives, no consideration whatsoever as to how it's impacting all of us. If you want to protest, I'm all for protest. I think freedom of speech is one of the most beautiful things that we have in this country. But why not do it where it matters? Go to the House of Parliament, affect the MPs and get them to realise what you're going through. Why are you disrupting our lives so much that not just me, but thousands of people were really affected by this?
What do you think, Iain?
It doesn't achieve anything in my eyes.
The point is, I can't imagine a single person watching this programme now thinking to themselves, oh, I think I'll support their cause because of that. And also think of the emissions that would have been caused by all of those cars idling. OK, some of them will switch their engines off, but it will have actually increased emissions as a result. But the main point is, what on earth were the police doing? Because most of these protests were like 10, 15, you can see it there, 10, 15 people, and the police just stand there and look at them. They are committing an offence, get them off the motorway, arrest them, and they can go through the due process of law.
There was bizarre footage yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, of a driver deciding to pull them away from the
But that's what we're going to get. If the police don't do their job...
the driver pulled them away and then he got arrested.
Yeah.
But that's the frustrating thing. We're not talking about, I'll give you another scenario. Our family, very fortunately, we've had another baby born in the family, and they were trying to travel back home, and luckily this baby is being breastfed. However, the planned journey was meant to be an hour and 10 minutes. They were sat in the car for 4 hours with a 4-week-old baby. This is the kind of things that these individuals are not thinking about. What is a parent meant to do? I can understand why a driver would say enough is enough and get out of the car and try to do something.
Let's talk to Baroness Jenny Jones of the Green Party, because Jenny, you can give us the case for this protest.
There's no for this.
Well, to be quite honest, I do support these people. So Iain Dale is completely wrong that somebody watching this programme isn't supporting them, because they're actually doing it for all of us. Now, I take Shay's point about the disruption and how unfair it is. But if you think that these people are talking about 29 million homes that need insulation, that is a huge impact in Britain. I personally probably wouldn't have gone on this protest.
Jenny, hang on.
I need to ask you a question.
Just a sec, Jenny. Shay's asking you a question.
I need to ask you a question because I think it's great. We can all throw statistics, and let me be clear when I say I am 100% behind those individuals who are trying to raise awareness when it comes to the climate crisis and when it comes to what you're talking about. But have you ever had roads blocked outside your house when you need to go urgently to get medication? How would you feel? Are you telling me you'd be sat there calmly saying, this is just fine, we need to think about what's happening when it comes to insulating our homes? You definitely would not.
Shay, I heard you say all this earlier, and I'm really sympathetic. But quite honestly, you also asked the question. You also said, if I can finish what I'm saying, you also said, why aren't they sitting outside Parliament and forcing MPs to do something about it? The fact is, we have tried all those routes. Not this group, perhaps, but other groups. We've tried, and MPs are ignoring us. When you have a Tory government that has an 80-plus majority, they can basically do what they like, and that's what they're doing. They are not taking They are not taking the climate emergency seriously. And these people, Insulate Britain, they're actually saying to us all, it's infuriating disruption for a few hundred or a few thousand. I don't know how many people are impacted.
I mean, that's what a ridiculous statement.
The climate emergency is going to impact millions. It's already impacting billions of people. And if we don't start taking it seriously, if the government... the fact that this is now on TV, we're all talking about it. I mean, you're all angry about it. I'm angry about it as well. I'm angry at government isn't taking it seriously.
That's the point.
So Shay says no one supports Jenny.
Well, what happens in a scenario like this is it ends up going from the actual conversation, which is what we should be having, and this I do actually agree with you on, is what we should be doing around insulation. I agree. But what ends up happening now is everyone is upset, and it's thousands of people, not hundreds, let's be clear on that, who have been affected by this, and they just switch off and they say, I don't even want to discuss anything to do with insulation, to do with climate crisis. I don't want to know. It's the polar opposite that's happened.
All right. The most journeys are less than 3 miles. The journey you were taking yesterday, was that a long journey?
It was a long journey because I had
5,
to get
6 miles?
Yeah, because I had to get the medication. And as I've just said, I had family members. I did need to make it, and I had a family member coming back home who needed to make it. And there were many others. We're not talking about those individuals who are working 10, 12-hour shifts if they've been based at Heathrow. They need to get home. Why are they always the ones that get targeted when they want to get home after a long day at work?
Let's look at the issue. What Jenny hasn't told us, of course, is that the government is spending £1.3 billion on enabling people to insulate their homes. Now, we can all say that's not enough. It should be more. But when you look at what Britain has done as a country over the last 10 or 15 years in terms of climate change and anti-climate change measures, we have done far more in terms of carbon reduction than any of our competitors in Europe. Do I ever hear Jenny Jones or anyone from the Green Party saying, well, actually, we have been leading Europe in this? No, they make out that we are the worst performers on the environment, and it's a simple lie.
Jenny.
I'm so sorry, Iain, but you are completely wrong on this. The government, it's true, does say that we're world leaders, blah, 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 on reducing our carbon emissions. But the way they did that was to fiddle the figures. So what they did not include shipping and aviation.
No, nor does any other country.
They also didn't include all the offshore costs. Every time we import something from China or from India, we are not calculating those
nor does any other country. I'm comparing like with like. You're not typically trying to twist the facts.
Oh, I am not. I have got to say I'm probably one of the most honest politicians you've ever talked to. But the point is, we are not world leading. In fact, the UK is the last in Europe for sales of energy efficient heat pumps. The last in Europe.
Have we or have we not cut carbon emissions more than any other bigger country in Europe? The answer is yes. You can't deny that.
No, we haven't. I mean, the government now has agreed to include shipping and aviation. I mean, all those flights out of Heathrow and so on. They have agreed to do that. That's progress, and I'm very glad, and I've told the government I'm very glad about it. But at the same time, they cannot claim to be world leaders. We are abysmal.